G'day, Aussie Mark again, and today we're stepping back in time, back to the mid-90s. These days SOG are very well known for their multi-tools, but where did it all start? Well, it actually started with this model that you see before you. This is a SOG power plier. I bought this one in Australia way back in 1996, and I've every reason to believe this was of the first lot of SOG multi-tools. The SOG power plier was first produced in 1995. That's when they came up with the compound leverage mechanism, which most of you would be familiar with, which is this cog set up here on the pliers. So yes, in 1995 SOG produced their first multi-tool, and I bought this one not too long after here in Australia. So I'm fairly certain this is a representation of the very first multi-tools that they made. So we'll just go over the quick specs and statistics of this thing before we get in and show you what's in there. Weight of this particular tool is 8.1 ounces or 230 grams, so it's quite a reasonable sort of weight to cart around. It is 4.5 inches long in its closed up state, as it is there, which is 114 millimeters. The width, that is the distance across that way, is 1.25 inches, 31 millimeters, and the thickness of the tool is 9/16 of an inch or 15 millimeters. Not really a particularly good thing for pocket carry, as most full-size multi-tools aren't. It's a little bit too heavy, too bulky. Also, I suspect these cogs wouldn't do pocket liners much good. The way I used to carry this when I carried it all the time, and I did for well over a decade, was in a custom-made leather pouch that I had made up, which I think I've shown on the video. I still occasionally carry and use this. The last time it got any significant use was after the floods earlier this year. I took it out on the flood recovery, and actually in that sheath there's stains. That's actually some of the mud from the flood when we were in houses, and I use this tool to cut electrical wiring and that type of thing to remove stoves and what have you. So it came in very handy on that day. So I'll just take you through what's on this thing. Actually, we'll have a quick look at the markings on the tool first. On the side here, if it'll focus, you can see there it says SOG Specialty Knives and Tools, Edmonton, WA. On the other side, actually this side's a bit worn, I'm not sure if you can see that very well. It actually says power plier there, and underneath that compound leverage, patent pending. I think that will probably show up better on the other side, yeah. The first side's just been worn over the years and years of use. There's a bit better. So that's the type of markings you'll see on the very early SOG tools. Okay, let's get into it and have a look. First off, pliers. Now the great thing about the SOGs, one of their selling points at the time and still is that you can flick them open like so and use them one-handed, which I didn't do a very good job of it, but trust me when I tell you it does work. So that's quite handy at times. The pliers on these are very good, very strong. The compound leverage system does work. Again, there's a few markings there you'll see on each side. It's got the SOG logo embossed there. Get some focus for you. There we go. At the back of the pliers there, we have the wire cutters. You've then got your grippy section here and your normal pliers at the front. And you can see there's a slight gap in those pliers towards the front, but they actually do the job quite well. And the alignment that way, even after all these years, is still very good. I've got no complaints at all with the pliers and how they operate. All the tools on these early ones, there are no tools mounted on the outside. However, if you look carefully there, you will see there's some graduations marked in there for rulers, both metric and in inches on both sides, and that can be folded out and used full length as a ruler. Into the tools. The most common tool that we all use in these things, I suppose, is the knife blade, and of course it has one. And that's it there. The length of the blade, I didn't measure that, but we'll do that now. So you're looking at just under 3 inches. That's your blade length there. It is a partially serrated blade, and it's basically, as you can see, it's got a slight grind here, but it's predominantly ground on this side, so it's more of almost a chisel grind, but not quite. Very, very sharp. I've managed to cut myself on this numerous times over the years. And of course, being quite a thin type of a steel, it does hold quite a fine edge, and those serrations are still good to this day. It's a good slicer. The only downside is that, unlike the modern tools, it doesn't have a lock-in mechanism. What you do get on all these tools is, you'll see that little tab there. When that comes up, it locks in like that. Now it does require a little bit of pressure, but the knife can potentially fold back on you. And as you would have just noticed, then some of these other tools will come out in sympathy with other tools like that. That's probably because I've loosened that pivot a little bit. It's really important if you're using one of these early tools and using the knife, that once you've got the blade out, you close the thing up like so and have it closed. If in any case the knife gets knocked whilst you're using it, it can't fold back on your hand. Now, I've taken the shortcut in the past and I'll never do it again of using the tool like that and knocking the blade, and what happens is it comes back and the next thing you know you've got blood gushing out everywhere and people shrieking, and it's very inconvenient. So it's important to fold that up, and that's your safety mechanism right there. The other tools you'll find in this knife, on this side, on the blade side, we've got a large screwdriver, which I've used a lot. It's very good. Phillips head screwdriver, again, great little tool, very useful. A small flat screwdriver, which can be used for all manner of neat small prying tasks and just digging things out, that type of thing. A really useful tool is this awl, and you need to be a bit careful with this one. What I'll do is I'll fold that blade out the way so I don't go cutting myself up on this. If you're using this one, which is a great tool for making holes and that type of thing, the sharp edge on this is on the back side where you need to fold it. No, it's not a good idea, of course, to put your thumb or finger on there and try and fold it against that sharp edge. You need to come back here, and it takes quite a bit of pressure, and then fold that back, but it's better than slicing your hand open. The last tool on this side, if I can get it out, and I'll need to get the other tools out to get at it. We'll just fold the others out of the way again. I often find that with this I need to get the other tools out to finger room. That is your bottle opener and can opener, and that's quite an effective tool. It's a bit grubby. I haven't cleaned this up particularly before the video. Wiped a rag over it and that was about it. So they're all really useful. On the other side we've got a double-sided file, just got your checker pattern file on one side and your finer file on that side there. Again, it's embossed with the SOG logo down amongst all the gunk on it. What else have we got? A medium flat screwdriver, another useful tool. We've got a socket driver. I've never really used that much, mainly because I don't carry the tools around the attachments. And on this particular one we have a little wood sawing blade, and that's actually quite a good thing. I've used that occasionally and it's not bad. And again, as you can see, all these tools, they lock in on that same method there. It's actually, to feel that, it's slightly hollow ground, which is a little bit unusual, but it works really well. A little bit of flexibility, and for small tasks, chopping small little bits of twigs or trees, whatever, it's not a bad thing. So that's it. That's the original SOG power plier multi-tool. A little bit of history for you there. Hope you've enjoyed that, and thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.